We've officially made it to the last day of 2024. So, in celebration, I'm going to recap all of the best paddles of the year in their respective categories, and I'm going to give away one of each of them. Don't ask me how I got them all to agree. I think I'm just fortunate enough to work with so many generous companies that also happen to be doing really fantastic things in pickleball. So let's not waste any time here. Here are all the categories, and for each one, I have my People's Choice winner, which is based on over 500 of your votes in the survey that I released. And I also have my personal winner, and I'll be recognizing both and giving away one of each in every single category. So you do the math, and it's pretty quick. You find out that this is going to be the biggest giveaway that Pickleball YouTube has ever seen. I'll have names, affiliate links, and any videos that I've done all linked in the description down below. So with that, let's get this party started. The first category is Best New Company. This goes to the manufacturer that got their big break in 2024 and continued to excel throughout the rest of the year. And the People's Choice Award for Best New Company of 2024 is none other than local to me DFW company Chorus Pickleball. Chorus launched themselves onto the scene with their super versatile Shapeshifter paddle, which became an instant all-court paddle classic. And they continued their excellence through the launch of the Super Court, which is set to become its own line in 2025, as well as their Fire series, which is their unique approach to power. As a company whose roots lie in a man just giving away paddles to anybody who wanted to try pickleball, it's no surprise in my mind why they're on this list. For my choice, I went a little unconventional. Rather than going for a company that innovated in the paddle equipment space, I went for a company that innovated in how we carry said equipment. So my personal choice for Best New Company of 2024 goes to none other than Kitchen Pickleball. The Court Caddy is without a doubt the best bag in pickleball that is optimized for pickleball and yet still is very useful for work, travel, and leisure. The Court Caddy and the recently released and more affordable Sling Bag show the company's clear eye for quality, attention to detail, and continued use of community feedback, which all make it my clear winner for this category. To celebrate these wins, I'll be giving away a Chorus Fire Paddle of your choice, as well as a Kitchen Sling Bag. The next category is Best Innovation of 2024, and this goes to the company that introduced brand new, never-before-seen tech into the pickleball space that made a positive impact. And the People's Choice for this category goes to Bread and Butter for the introduction of the polyester thread or titanium paddle face weave. Bread and Butter throughout this year has built almost a cult-like following around their brand, which has been very fun to watch. And on top of all that, the introduction of the PET weave on their Shogun paddle ended up defining an entire subclass of paddles released this year. My pick ends up going to a company that introduced tech that I feel is extremely undervalued on the market today. So my choice for Best Innovation of 2024 goes to Reload Pickleball for their replaceable grit system. In an area where other companies tried and failed this year, Reload introduced a fairly affordable solution to one of the only two reasons anybody would ever change their paddle. One, of course, being core corruption, and the other being fading of the grit. And the fact that you can tear off and replace these sheets in 10 to 20 seconds is just the icing on the cake. I mean, this was my clear winner for this category. There was not even a close second for this year. Congrats to the winners, and you guys are going to have the opportunity to either win a Bread and Butter Shogun or a Reload paddle with a few replaceable grit sheets. All right, next we're diving into Best Power Paddle of 2024, and this category was a doozy to figure out. The clear People's Choice winner for this category was the Rhombus Ripple R1, with the runner-up being the Yola Mod TA. However, with the Ripple's release date delayed potentially into 2025 and the Yola Mod TA set to be delisted in 2025, it didn't feel right for either of those to win that category for this year. So, the People's Choice Award for Best Power Paddle of 2024 goes to technically the third place for this year, the Yola Gen 3S Perseus 14mm. Just playing recreationally, this is one of the most common paddles that I see out there on the courts. And also seems like Yola slightly increased the durability and decreased the power from the Mod TAs and the OG Gen 3s, which, although they weren't the first Gen 3s, are the paddles that created the arms race towards high levels of power. So, overall, I would say that this is a fair winner of this category to represent 2024. When it came to my choice, there were so many paddles on the table for this award. The Ripples would have been very high up my list, the Gearbox Pro Ultimate Elongated, and of course, the Paddletech Bandom Series paddles. But I wanted my choice to be a paddle that took advantage of technology to the fullest and actually created a solid approach to high levels of power that didn't stir up a lot of controversy. So my choice for best power paddle of 2024 actually goes to the Spartus Olympus. I've been on a Spartus since I first started reviewing back in 23. This year, they rebranded their logo, but also came out with the Olympus, which not only uses their foam-filled Ascension core to generate high levels of power and pop, but also introduce a new method of vibration dampening in the throat with their phalanx system. But what made this decision for me was that this is a paddle that players not only had an easy time acclimating to and using, but also had no issues playing against despite its high power. And that, to me, in this day and age, is the mark of a truly great power paddle. You guys get it by now. You'll have the opportunity to win either a Yola Perseus Gen 3S 14mm or a Spartus Olympus. Next is Best All-Court Paddle of 2024. Simply, just a paddle that can do a little bit of everything. And the people's choice for Best All-Court Paddle of 2024 goes to a later release this year, the Pickleball Apes Pulse V. This was an absolute blowout victory for the Pulse V. I really love Pickleball Ape's approach to Gen 3 here, using it to make this paddle feel like it has one of the biggest sweet spots on the market. And then of course with the Pulse V's wide body shape leading to a high twist weight level of stability and low swing weight fast hand speed, how can you go wrong with that? I very nearly went with the Pulse V for my choice, but for me, I ended up coming back to a paddle that just gives you the quintessential all-court experience. That paddle that feels like it has the Goldilocks levels of spin, power, twist weight, hand speed, etc. And for me, my choice for Best All-Court Paddle of 2024 goes to the Chorus Shapeshifter HX. I definitely had preference for the OG Shapeshifter shape, so I am sad that that is being discontinued, but this HX is the closest I could get to that original feeling of this paddle can really kind of do it all. And so it just aptly fits into this category perfectly for me. Of course, to celebrate these wins, I'll be giving away one Pulse V and one Shapeshifter of your choice, which I'll be running jointly with my giveaway from This Week in Pickleball Tech Episode 2. So whether you comment on this video or comment on that one, you'll be entered to win that giveaway. Now, naturally, we're at Best Control Paddle of 2024. And these are paddles that prioritize soft touch and shot accuracy over innately being very powerful. There wasn't a lot of competition here in the pure control category, but one paddle did emerge as a clear fan favorite. So the people's choice for Best Control Paddle of 2024 goes to the Bread and Butter Fat Boy. The Fat Boy is a very soft paddle, but the addition of Kevlar to make the face feel nice and plush, the super fun colorway that Bread and Butter introduced, and of course the obvious defensive stability advantages this paddle has being a standard/wide body shape make it a very apt choice for a winner and addition to this list. My choice for this category comes from a very early year contender, and in my opinion this company actually might have peaked at this paddle release for the year. So my choice for Control Paddle of the Year 2024 goes to the Selkirk Lux. This paddle's getting left off a lot of lists, potentially because it came out too early in the year or for durability reasons, but the reality is that you're not going to be spanking the ball with this paddle. It's a super high spinning paddle that can actually drive through the ball decently well, and also had a premium and plush ball feel experience that has not been replicated on any other pure control paddle that I've ever tested. Alright, so now we're adding one Bread and Butter Fat Boy and one Selkirk Lux to the list of giveaways. Next, let's quickly look at the best value paddle of 2024. And the reason I say quick is because the people's choice and my choice for winner of this category have actually lined up here. The consensus winner for best value paddle released in 2024 goes to none other than the 11.624 Pegasus Jelly Bean. The previously named Monarch Jelly Bean, which that line will be known as Pegasus moving forward, felt like it was one flexible layer from feeling as reinforced and as powerful as the Monarch All Court, which in my opinion was a top 3 All Court paddle release this year. So the fact that you get that kind of performance for under $100 in all these cool different colorways made it a clear winner in this category. I don't think it was particularly close. So I know what you're thinking. I'm about to say, now we've got one jelly bean added to the list for the giveaway. However, because the jelly bean was not only the people's choice, but also my choice for this category, we're going to be giving away 2 jelly beans. That's right. I'm not going to cheat you guys. Every choice gets a giveaway. Moving on, we get to my personal favorite category of the video, Best Paddle Series of 2024. Which company released a comprehensive paddle series where it felt like any player could find one paddle to fit their game? The people's choice for Best Paddle Series of 2024 goes to the Pickleball Apes Pulse line. Pickleball Apes really remedied a lot of what I felt was lacking in the Proline Energy series of the past. And with this new series having all 3 popular paddle shapes, a wide body, a hybrid, and an elongated shape, all playing with very large sweet spots, it's really easy for me to see how any player could pick one of these up, and it also cemented this series as a very staple recommendation of mine to other players. The 11624 Monarch line definitely made its case for Best Paddle Series of the year, but in my opinion, there is only one drop that outshines the Pickleball Apes Pulse line. So my choice for Best Paddle Series of 2024 goes to the PaddleTech Bantam series. This was a super tough choice for me, but in the end, what pushes this over the edge is the context. PaddleTech really reviving itself this year, coming with this Gen 1 constructed paddle that still performs at a very high level and was very consistent across all levels of production. It's probably the #1 series that I saw pro players switching to at some point during this year. And of course, the variety in head shape and grip length make this paddle series so fun to explore and such an easy recommendation to any power-oriented pickleball player. Now, people might be critical because there's a lot of talk about how small the sweet spot is on these paddles. And if you are going to criticize my decision, my personal advice to you would be to cry more, because this line was easily the funnest to explore and play with, and these paddles play great, and that's my opinion. Okay, now we're getting into Best Elongated Paddle of 2024. Which paddle maintained a high level of performance despite being a shape that lends itself to head heaviness and not as much stability? The people's choice for this category is a paddle that I'm going to be talking about for the second time today, and that is the bread and butter Shogun. This paddle is definitely a fan favorite and is also the main paddle of Isaac Olson from the Pickleball Studio, which I definitely think helps drive its popularity. But it's also a paddle that I didn't expect to like as much as I did. There's really not a lot to fault about it beyond the chunky handle, but overall, very plush feeling, very head heavy, but uses it in a way that allows you to drive through the ball very nicely. And despite having a lot of vibration dampening, you don't feel super disconnected from the ball on the soft touch shots, which I think is a nice touch. For my personal winner, however, I'm going to continue to ride the PaddleTech Bantam train, as my choice for Best Elongated Paddle of 2024 goes to the PaddleTech Bantam TKOC 14.3mm. I'll be giving away a TKOC 14.3 and another bread and butter Shogun. Again, I'm telling you guys, I'm not cheating you. Every single category, every single winner has its own individual giveaway, even if I have to give away more than one. We're moving on to the next shape, which is going to be Best Hybrid Paddle of 2024. Which paddle slightly compressed from its elongated shape and used that to become more versatile in its performance? There were so many good options in this category at all levels of the power spectrum, so I might need to segment this category in the future. But in the end, there was a consensus vote for the same paddle, and that paddle is the Honolulu Pickleball Company J2K. The best reasoning I can give for this win, again in an oversaturated category, is that the paddle maintains such a high level of performance across every single category. The power, the spin, the plushness of ball feel, the vibration dampening, it all is at such a high level that it makes it better than any other hybrid paddle that might be best in class in just one category. Many thanks to Jem and the guys over at Honolulu Pickleball Company for throwing in 2 J2Ks to this giveaway. You guys, of course, know what's next. Best wide body / standard shape paddle of 2024. Which paddle's take on high twist weight, low swing weight properties was the best of the year? And the People's Choice winner for this category is a familiar one. It is the Bread and Butter Fat Boy. I talked a lot about the Fat Boy performance earlier, and what you can say about it is that it is a consistent performer in the control aspect of the game, and is also just very fun looking and fun to play with. You can easily identify other people who are Bread and Butter fans with it, which I think is really fun. I really had to keep a wide mind here, and I know I keep saying this, but there were legitimately so many choices at my disposal here. The recent Neonic releases made a really good case, so did the Valair Mach 2, but in the end, I settled on one paddle that took the high twist weight, low swing weight characteristic and expanded upon it. And for me, that was the super late release, the Gearbox Pro Ultimate Hyper. The technology that Gearbox is using in their paddles is ahead of 99% of other paddle companies right now, but it wasn't just that made me choose the Hyper. I've never seen a scenario where a company's paddle release is simply predicated on the criticisms of the previous release. And I would never expect that to go as successfully as it did either. The Hyper, quite simply, is a wide body paddle player's dream and a power paddle player's dream rolled into one. And that is something that I think definitely makes it worthy of winning this category. We will have a Bread and Butter Fat Boy, which makes 4 total Bread and Butter paddles, and a Gearbox Hyper, both added to the giveaway stash. I didn't think to add this category to my survey for this year, but definitely will for next year, and I, of course, have my own personal thoughts. So this year, in my opinion, biggest flop of 2024 goes to the Holbrook Aero series. The sad thing here is, if I was doing YouTube in 2023, the Holbrook Power Pro would have been my choice for Paddle of the Year. I also want to applaud Holbrook on going out and trying something different with the internal weighting system on the 4 corners along with the edgeless shape. But what I'm sad to report is that did not work out well. The 2 things these paddles should have going for them are sweet spot size and hand speed, and unfortunately, neither of them were really there at all. I really don't think a lot of reviewers had anything positive to say about these paddles in general, and unfortunately for the amount of marketing and hype that these received, for this to be the sole release of Holbrook for the year, and for them to perform the way they did, it unfortunately lands them at the bottom of the list for me. I, of course, will be doing a giveaway for this category, but from what I understand, Holbrook's next release in 2025 should be a good paddle. So, for all we know, I'll be sitting here at the end of 2025 talking about how good it is, and that would be a welcome surprise. I always love to see paddle companies redeem themselves following a bad release, and ever since the Power Pro, I've generally been a fan of Holbrook stuff, so that would be a welcome surprise. All right, everyone, this is it. We have made it to Best Overall Paddle of 2024. Which paddle, combining all of its characteristics on paper and on court, absolutely hit it out of the park this year? This was once again a consensus vote, and it's a paddle that I 1000% expect to be on many other reviewer lists as the best paddle of this year. The People's Choice and my choice for Best Overall Paddle of 2024 goes to none other than the Honolulu Pickleball Company J2K. As much as I like to keep the paddles on this list a surprise, I don't think this was a surprise to anyone. This is simply a paddle that I could not put down once I picked up. It's also currently the main paddle of Chris Olsen from the Pickleball Studio, and that's definitely for a reason. It's my most watched review on YouTube. It's the paddle that I get asked about the most, and it just simply is the best performer and the most consistent of the year. So congratulations to Jem and the whole team at HPC for winning this category, and of course the other accolades they're likely going to be receiving across the industry. They are very well deserved. And with that, that is going to put a nice little wrap on 2024. If I can just be candid here, just no cuts, talking to you guys directly, I never thought this channel was going to be even where it's at right now. I really just started this because I was tired of doing things just on Instagram. I felt like I could have a broader reach on YouTube. And you guys have really shown me that you guys care, not just about my opinion, but also just about the level of content that I create. Um, it really is, there's so much more that I have to do. I've gotten so much better from when I started, but there is so much work and improvement still left to do. I'm recording this at 3 a.m. in the morning. Doing this alongside my 9 to 5 is always gonna be a struggle, but I wouldn't have it any other way. I really just truly want to thank each and every single one of you who just simply watch my videos, not even just like or subscribe or comment or, just anything. Just simply watching the videos means so much to me. And to those of you who come up and say hi to me in public, I still feel weird about that. It doesn't seem real that people do that. But in general, I just can't tell you guys enough how much you guys mean to me and how excited I am for the future, how happy I am at where I'm at, and how much I'm enjoying every step of the process. I'm so thankful for all of you guys, the viewers, and of course, again, all of the generous companies that have agreed to work with me, that allow me to work on independent projects with them, and of course, especially to all of the companies participating in the giveaway today. Just huge heartfelt thank you to all of you, and you guys made 2024 absolutely incredible. But now I'm going to give you guys what you've all been waiting for, the keyword to enter the giveaway. How this is going to work is I'm just going to have one keyword, and I'm going to select multiple winners for every single giveaway. So you won't know exactly which one you'll win, but you know that you will win one if selected. And what you're going to comment down below is something I'm manifesting for 2025. You're just going to comment 10K, because by the end of 2025, my goal is to be at least 10,000 subscribers. I will select all winners and put them at the beginning of This Week in Pickleball Tech episode 3, which is set to release in a little more than 2 weeks from today on Friday, January 17th. If you made it here through this absolute marathon of an episode, again, thank you so, so much for watching and for your support. Remember to like, subscribe so you know when that video comes out to see if you win the giveaway. And of course, comment down below just whatever your thoughts are. I really just want to hear from you guys. And in the meantime, happy holidays, very, very happy new year. And I hope you all stay happy and healthy. And of course, out on the courts until the next video. Peace. What a crazy year, man.